Yeah.
But, so.
Jess is going to walk us through the bench and the common mistakes.
Okay. So the first thing that we're looking for in a competition bench is that we've got 3 points of contact. So our feet remain in contact always with the floor, our butt remains in contact, and the back of our shoulders and our head remains in contact. Some federations have differences in rules for like if you can have your heels off or if you can lift your head, but for sake of the argument, feet, butt, head and shoulders stay on the bench at all times. So we want to have the top of our head, back of our head and the top of our shoulders on the bench, and we want to get really nice and tight through our upper back. So there are lots of ways you can do that, but I personally will set myself up with my back and shoulders in the bench, and I'm here thinking about pulling my lats and upper back as tight as possible before I reach for the bar. Then I'm going to take my feet down, and here I'm thinking about keeping my entire backside of my body as tight as possible. So I'm trying to get my feet as far back so that I can keep tension in my hamstrings, and so that if I am to squeeze my butt and drive through my legs now, I cannot actually get my butt off the bench. So I'm as tight as possible through my whole posterior chain, which means I can drive through the floor using my whole body to get power without sacrificing any of my position.
Perfect.
As far as your hand position goes, for a competition bench, we have to be, we can't be outside of the rings, but as long as you're anywhere, like from touching them to inside, it doesn't matter. The narrower you are, the longer your range of motion is going to be. So some people are actually stronger, narrower, but the reason why people will generally bench wider is we have a shorter range of motion, which is going to make it easier, or it's less movement we have to do during the comp press. Okay, so from here we're looking at how our wrists are stacked. Commonly you'll see this mistake. What we want is the wrist to be stacked straight, so we've got a straight line from the elbow up to the hand. Once I'm here and I'm tight, I actually will lift up, press out, and then when my butt comes down, my shoulder position doesn't move. So you'll see that angle stays the same the entire time. Not everyone benches like this. This is very common for the Scandinavians. I had a Swedish coach when I learnt. You can have someone unrack for you. It's quite hard if you've got different people unracking, because the way the unrack is and the way they hand it to you will change, which means that the ability to stay tight from the top of the movement is a little bit more challenging. So for me, I prefer to be able to keep control of as much of the movement as possible. So if I can unrack, maintain tightness through the whole movement and through the press, it's just one less variable that can go wrong. So once you've unracked, you're going to be in that tight position, so the lats are really tight, your shoulders are far away from your ears, and your whole posterior chain is tight. You're going to lower down and pause on the chest. Pause. We're going to make sure that the elbows don't flare, and we're going to press back up. You can, like wiggling, sometimes the bar angle will change and you can push more forward towards the rack. It's just going to depend on what's a stronger position for the athlete.